Hi, my name is Emily. I'm the head trainer here at Pose and Play, and I'm here to tell you about a few training collars and devices. So this right here is a martingale collar. This is actually a no-slip collar. A lot of people think this will deter your dog from pulling. It won't. What it is it's a safety mechanism so that when they pull, it tightens so they can't slip out of it. So if your dog is fearful or if you have a really young puppy learning the leash still, this is an awesome collar to use on them because it's loose when they're not pulling, and then if they get scared, no slip, your dog is still on leash, good job. So the way to size this properly is these two rings should never touch. So if it's like this on your dog can slip out of it. There should be space in between them. This is my favorite collar to use. And on to the next device. So if you would like to deter your dog from pulling or make the pull a more manageable pull, this is an Easy Walk harness. So, Easy Walk harness. What it does is actually is a front hook harness, and it makes it uncomfortable when they pull. So it helps discourage pulling. Now, none of these are going to stop them from pulling. Loose leash training through one of my classes is going to help stop the dog from pulling. This is a temporary device to make the pull more manageable, and like I said, it hooks in the front, same style as the martingale, and it tightens and it makes it uncomfortable on their chest whenever they pull. So this is the Easy Walk harness. There is another device called a halty that actually goes around the dog's nose. I am not a fan of that because the dogs typically hate it. It does deter the dog from pulling, but usually during the walk, they spend the entire walk pawing at their nose or rubbing on your leg or things like that. So we are not a fan of the halty or the gentle leader. The martingale collar and the Easy Walk are my favorites. But that brings us to another training device. This right here is a metal prong collar. This is not necessarily a no-slip collar. A lot of people are like, oh, well, I put this on my dog so they can't slip out of it. No, no-slip collar, martingale. Prong collar is a negative reinforcement correcting tool. So the dog pulls, it gets corrected. This can accidentally cause aggressions in dogs because if your dog sees another dog and it pulls towards it, well, then it gets corrected. So it thinks that other dog is correcting it. So this, again, is not my choice method. So brings us to So this is an electronic stimulation collar, also known as a shock collar. The idea behind this is your dog does something wrong and you shock it. Your dog doesn't come when called. You shock it. Your dog pulls forward instead of doing a heel. You shock it. So it gets a lot of negative reinforcement. Another thing is if your dog growls at another dog and you punish it with a shock, you're actually suppressing that growl, and then they stop growling because that growl is a warning, and then they just start biting, and we don't want that to happen. And we don't want you depending on a device. We want to fix your dog's underlying issues in the brain. We want to retrain their brain using positive reinforcement. So if you guys have a dog that pulls or jumps or doesn't come when called, then you can come see me at Pose and Play and we can help.